Welcome to Through Thick and Skin podcast. I'm your host, Erin Jensen, sitting alongside my beautiful sister,
Megan Jugs Pattison. I just made that up.
Would that be on your tombstone?
No. My tombstone will say Chesty LaRue. That's my nom de plume. That's when I get car service at the airport and they ask what name they want on the card. I tell them Chesty. Chestie LaRue. It's French. But
well,
yes.
Thank you, Chesty.
Yeah.
You're looking
my tombstone will have like a bomb filtered selfie on it. They'll be like, Chi-Chi's on fleek.
Well, your Chi-Chis are looking good and your red lips are looking great.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here tonight.
Well, welcome you guys to episode 9. We thought for this episode we would bring it back a little bit medical. We've done a lot of fun stuff talking about our lives and relationships and business, but you guys, that's why I am on this podcast, not to entertain you, but to educate you.
True.
Now we are getting into spring break, getting into summer season, and I see a lot of this in my office.
Warts? Vaginal warts?
The anal variety? No, my anal wart days are long gone.
Long gone. Just like put that to bed.
But another issue that people, might feel self-conscious about, and that is sweating.
Ooh.
So
yes.
Sweating from all body parts, all times of day, and it can be really uncomfortable socially and in personal relationships. So I'm here to drop some knowledge on you on what sweating is all about, how we can help it, what you can do to improve it to make your quality of life so much better. And there are actually some really easy fixes that you can do to make it better.
Okay.
Have you had any problems with sweating?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you bring that up. The first dermatologist I saw in high school put me on that really stingy calcium-based underarm shit.
Yeah.
Aluminum.
Yeah.
And we went to St. Lucy's where we had to wear white blouses. That shit stained my blouses.
It did, yeah.
Yellow. Like no two ways about it. Like, yeah, my pits were dry, but then I had really bad stained blouses.
Yeah.
And then I also did, even like from Joann's Fabrics, like those stickers you could put inside. And it's cool because it does work, except it could fold the shirt where you put the sticker on. But what's so embarrassing is that like outside of the sticker, it's like sweat.
So it's white where the sticker is, and then it's sweat
It
ring.
looks so awkward. It's like an opposite sweat ring. It's like totally dry for an oval, and then boom, right outside of it, it's all wet. So, I mean, that was in high school. Fortunately, I haven't had any excessive, I do avoid just like heather gray in general because I sweat in other weird parts of my body. So, but like as far as like the underarms, deodorant these days as an adult is all I need.
And being a teenager is awful. Kids are mean, and
It
the last thing you
sucks.
need to deal with is excessive sweating.
I mean, people are like, oh my God, high school was the shit. I'm like, you must have been hot and pimple free. Because yes, I did well in high school. I was class president and
4 times.
Exactly. 4 times. Okay. By a landslide every time, by the way. They didn't even have what is it called? A vote off?
Runoff.
A runoff. They didn't even have a runoff.
What were some of your class speeches? What is that called? Like presidential speeches?
Yes, first of all, I crushed every single presidential speech because I didn't go up there and I was like, I promise to get sugar-free soda in the soda machine. I went up there and I was like, hey, everybody, what's up? My name's Megan. Here are 10 reasons to vote for me. Number 10, I'm tall as hail, so you could find me in a crowd in case you need help. Number 9, and I did a David Letterman list on 10. Another speech, this was the crowd pleaser. I pretended to be Miss Cleo.
I remember that.
I did like a role play where I was like pretending to be a student and I was like, hey, I don't know who to vote for president for this year's St. Lucy's class. And she was like, damn your birthday, darling. Free Tara Reid. And I was like, Miss Cleo says you should vote for Megan. She's the best president ever. That sounded a little Irish, but Jamaican. If you don't know who Miss Cleo is, you need to look her up because she is an icon.
She must have bought an island with her billions of dollars she made by charging like $9.99 a minute.
She's run off. Yeah. She's split. She's like, bye-bye now. So I just won. Okay, so yes. So yeah. I won Friends because I've been hilarious all my life. I've been a character. I've been the quirk. But I was definitely not the hottest. I never got asked to dances.
You went to dances?
I went to dances because I worked them or I ask the guy.
I have pictures of you with the guy. Oh, you
I ask them.
the guy. Okay.
Exactly. Erin,
Okay.
it's okay.
I'm sorry.
I've worked through a lot of therapy to get through
Okay.
the fact that I've never been asked to a dance, so don't even worry about it. I am healed, okay? Thank you to my shrink. So all I'm saying, though, is that, like, high school for me, you know, I had acne compounded by sweating. I was chunky, flat-chested, but I had a sparkling personality. I still do. I had a lot of fun at music shows and rock shows and ska shows and stuff like that. So it was all good. Was it my prime time? Hell no.
No.
I'm hitting my sexual prime right now. I'm looking better than ever.
You look good. So sweating is something that you don't need in your life.
That was such a
hold on.
Megan show. I was like, "Choo." Let's bring it back to me. You're talking about sweating. I want to talk about my childhood trauma. Okay, so
I'm
your
going
time
to
shine.
help you and any adolescent you might have in your life prevent some of this childhood trauma from my sweating tips.
Okay, cool.
So sweating is necessary. We all have to sweat. It's our body's own way of regulating our temperature. If we
Okay.
didn't sweat, we would overheat. But there is a condition called hyperhidrosis where you sweat more than you need to. You sweat more than your body needs to regulate it. And that can be really uncomfortable. Like we talked about being in your armpits. I think even more detrimental on areas like your hands.
Yeah.
Or if you go to shake someone's hand and it's dripping in sweat, you try to write with a pen on your paper and it's smearing it.
Yeah, that's awful.
So that's really hard too. Feet too, but there's also other body parts that can sweat. So there are different things that you can use to help sweating. So let's kind of go through some of them. Number one is just over-the-counter antiperspirant or deodorant.
So like a speed stick.
Yeah. Do you know the difference between an antiperspirant or a deodorant?
Yes, I think so. So anti, which is derived from the Latin word anti. No, I'm just kidding. I just made that up. Okay, anti, you said antiperspirant?
Yes.
Anti, not. Perspirant, perspire. So a help to not sweating. A deodorant is like a deodorizer, like you deodorize a car. So the smell. So something is like the wetness versus the smell.
Damn, you're smart.
I know I'm smart.
So you're exactly right. An antiperspirant will inhibit sweating. So typically they are made out of aluminum. Like there's over-the-counter aluminum.
But that will give me cancer.
Let's get there, okay? And what the aluminum does is that it actually kind of clogs your pores temporarily, so the sweat cannot come through. Okay. It will, over time, when you clean it, it breaks up, it will go away. A deodorant is acidic, usually made of alcohol, and that will help neutralize the bacteria, or it makes an unfriendly environment for bacteria to grow on, so you won't smell as much. So you still sweat with a deodorant, but it should smell less. So more of the natural deodorants are aluminum free.
Like that rock that you rub under your armpit.
Yeah, have you tried that before?
Yeah, that shit does not work.
I know. So, I mean, in general, antiperspirants do tend to work a little bit better than deodorants do. But you know, there's definitely pushes to go more aluminum free with things. So teach their own. Do your research on that. I don't really want to give advice on that, but
Yeah.
I personally use a mix of both. I'll try to use more natural deodorants, but if there's sometimes
You do? You hippie ass. Hippie ass Erin. I'm like, what? Next you're going to go vegan? Next you're going to use a charcoal toothpaste?
I went vegan for like 2 weeks. It was great, but my husband gained 10 pounds. Ryan gained 10 pounds being vegan because he ate like
because
French fries.
vegan food, like there's a lot of yummy junk vegan
There
food
is,
now.
yeah.
Like it's not necessarily completely healthy and low in calories. Like I had vegan mac and cheese last night.
It's good.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. So no, I use a mix. But if I'm gonna go to like sweat it out, or you're gonna go out like to the beach or something like that, I'm going to use aluminum deodorant. That's just my personal way of doing things.
Okay.
You can get prescription level antiperspirants. So there is a product, the brand name's Drysol, aluminum chloride, 12%. That's just a stronger, more potent antiperspirant. But
is that a stick or like a spray? How do you put that on?
It's what you used in high school.
Oh, it's like a squirt bottle on a cotton pad and it stings.
Yes.
Ooh! Or you grow out your pit hair. It stung.
So you put it on at nighttime,
yes,
and you sleep with it. And the instructions actually are you put it on at nighttime, put a saran wrap to occlude it, and try to sleep with the saran wrap stuck in your pits overnight.
That's for somebody who doesn't sleep
Exactly.
I sleep.
It's hard, and I just tell people put it on. And if you wake up with it on, great. If you don't, at least you had it on for some amount of time.
Yeah.
But the side effect is it can irritate the skin, make it red, itchy, irritated.
Oh, it hurt. It was, but I didn't have pit stains, but my armpits were on fire.
Yes. So, but it's a balance. If that happens, we usually say take it down a few notches where you just use it 2 or 3 times a week versus every night.
Yeah.
You can use that same medication on your hands and feet, but the skin on your hands and feet is much thicker, so it's going to be harder to penetrate in those areas.
So you poke a whole bunch of holes in your hands like a hot potato.
Well, we'll get to that with another product and try to like rub it in.
Yeah.
No, so you don't do that. There is some other types of medications that can help prevent sweating. There are these type of medications called anticholinergics, and how they work is that they kind of dry out everything in your body, oral types of anticholinergics. So the most common medication that we use for that is a medication called Robenal. And what that does is that it's going to dry out everything. So it's going to be good for someone who sweats a lot from everywhere, like boobs, armpits, hands, feet, and someone who might have failed the topical medications. Mm-hmm. But the one thing about
that's a pill, Robenal?
It's a Robenal.
Okay.
Yes, it is a pill. But the tough thing is that it can dry out everything. And there's a level where can we dry you out enough so your sweating isn't bothering you, but the other dryness isn't bothering you.
Your Sahara Desert vagina.
Yeah, exactly. That is number one. Your mouth, your eyes. And some people will deal with a little bit of dryness in other areas if they're sweating less. Yeah. But it is a very fine balance. There are some other medical conditions that we screen for before we put someone on those medications. But it can be a helpful treatment. Mm-hmm. More recently, they have created wipes made of a similar medication to the Robenal. The brand name is called Qbrexza. So it's a wipe you actually wipe on your armpit.
Why haven't they given us samples?
I have samples.
Oh.
Do you want them?
Well, you've been holding off. Yeah, I want to put it under my boobs.
Okay.
See, help my boobs sweat.
I'll let you try it. No, they're at their office. How about I write you a prescription?
Okay, we'll do it
Okay.
eventually.
Well, let me evaluate you first.
Okay.
But anyways, that is just another, it is a pretty revolutionary medication to use topically because we were only using the antiperspirants and deodorants.
And wipes are convenient as fuck.
They are. They're brand name though, not always covered by insurance, but wipes are nice. You can just wipe it
If
down.
I had one wipe, I would use every single inch of it and just wipe it all over my body.
And turn it over.
Yes,
rub it in,
exactly.
cut it into quarters.
Get all the little crevices.
What I do use it for in some people off label is on their face, like if their nose or their forehead sweats. I've done that with brides before their wedding.
So you could do it like the day of your wedding and it will help? You have to build up to it?
You have to build up to it.
Yeah.
But it's something that can be helpful in an area
Pro
where
tip.
You can't put.
That's such a cool pro tip.
Yeah. So, talk to your provider, see if that's something. And these are prescription medications that we're getting into.
Mm-hmm. You can't go to CVS and buy it.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
No. There are injectable treatments that we use very commonly. Mm-hmm. Botox is an amazing treatment for sweating. So what it does is that it does not allow you to release that communication to your sweat glands to know the chemical that makes your sweat glands know, okay, I want to sweat right now. So it stops that, it cleaves that off. So what we can do is that we can actually inject Botox into your armpits, into your hands, and it stops you from sweating in those areas.
So does that mean every place you've put Botox in my face, I should not be sweating there?
There's a possibility of that, but you also have oil glands in your face. So you're still going to get oily. Oil and sweat are two different products that are produced by your skin, but you should feel less sweaty. So sometimes we'll actually even inject Botox into the scalp to help prevent your scalp from sweating as much. Sometimes people do feel that they do have less oil production with Botox. I mean, I feel like my face is less oily when the Botox kicks in.
For sure. I notice that when I'm getting ready and I get really hot, when it's hot outside and you're trying to put makeup on and blow dry your hair and you're like, this is a waste.
Yes.
I get like a sweat stash and like a soul patch. Yes. So maybe you should put a few units in my soul patch area.
Well, you have your lip flip. Does your lip flip help? Your Botox in your lip?
No, I think I'm due for my lip flip.
Let me see. Your lips look good. Megan begs me.
I want more. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. For real, I'm a freak. I'm the worst of Erin's clients.
But yes. So Botox can help in this area.
So Botox can help. Yes.
Have I Botoxed your armpits before?
No. Honestly, that's the one. I was gonna have Jackie Botox my underboob because I love wearing bodysuits. Mm-hmm. Like that is my power move. Bodysuits I just love the way it looks. Even though I got a little tummy, I just love feeling tucked in. The thing though, I wear some bodysuits where I don't wear a bra with it. You could judge me for that or not. I got nice knockers, so I'm gonna sometimes not wear a bra. But when you don't wear a bra, your sweat doesn't collect in the fabric.
Yes.
It's just So I'll be in I'll look at myself and I'm in this cute like olive green bodysuit. I haven't even left the house yet and I got a little ring and I have to change it and it sucks. So like I have 2 bodysuits I can only wear in colder weather. But even then I might be on the dance floor, you know, Sean Paul comes on and I want to Ponda River and then boom, I have boob sweat. So I was going to ask Jackie and then time passed.
Yeah.
So
Jackie, our Newport PA, is the queen of off-label body Botox everywhere.
Well, you should probably explain what off-label is. People don't.
Sure.
It's not like from the back of a truck.
No.
Okay, so a bootleg Botox. No, that's not what off-label Botox is.
Off-label is that certain medications have been FDA approved to be treated on label to certain areas. So when Allergan submitted their Botox to be approved, they submitted it to be treated in the frown lines. That's only it, because they had to treat it on multiple patients and see how they reacted to have this controlled setting. But then as time goes on, we can use it everywhere. We have experience with it. We know it's safe, but FDA approved are only on certain areas, like the frown, forehead, around the eyes. Certain filler types are only approved in certain areas, but we use everything everywhere very safely.
Yeah, very safely. So yeah, in a nutshell, off-label is like not it what it was not like clinically.
But they are working on getting more things on label all the time. It just takes years,
like 20 years to get shit approved.
Yes.
So like they've been working on like the approval in the forehead lines since like the 70s or 80s.
Well, not that long ago, and it is FDA approved in the forehead lines. But I know there's some products going to be coming out for like cheek indications, but we've been putting them in the cheeks for 10 years. So just sometimes that takes some time to catch up too.
So what about if somebody has really bad sweating like in their lower back?
You can. So there's certain limitations. You can't just go and Botox everything. And we are very cautious in areas that have muscles that we use to function. So when we put Botox in the armpits, we're not really worried about your shoulder strength or your pec strength, because we're putting it very superficially into the skin where the sweat glands are. But in general, I mean, we try not to do too much Botox. I mean, there is an equation that lets you know how much the maximum amount of Botox you could put in one person. But you can put it in smaller areas. We'd probably test the area first. Because it takes a lot of Botox too. I mean, your lower back is probably going to take 2 to 3 vials.
So to give people an idea, 2 to 3 vials for a lower back, how much would
like $3,000?
No, but how much would you use in a forehead? Do you use a vial in a forehead?
Oh, like a quarter of a vial.
Yeah. So to give people an idea, the amount of Botox needed for sweating is a lot.
There's a lot more. It tends to last longer though. So in the armpits, I'll usually use half a vial per armpit. And on average, it lasts people about 6 months. And, we charge about $1,000 for that. And for some people with horrible sweating, that is so worth it for them to have that quality of life change for that amount of time.
So what about like in the hands? You said that you can't put on the topical.
You can do Botox in the hands too.
Okay.
But we are more cautious about that because we don't want to weaken the muscle in the hands either. So it can weaken a little bit, but it can decrease grip strength. So say if you're a baseball player and you have to grip your baseball bat, that's probably not a good thing. Sometimes you might have a harder time opening jars by trying to grip the jar. It's just being more cautious about that. But again, some people will take the little bit of weakness for that sweat.
Yeah, and it's not like you have like a limp hand after you get Botox in the palms. So, I mean, if you were a professional, it'd be like, I want, like Botox in my traps to relax the muscles in my trapezoids because they're so mannish, but I also like to lift muscles to build up my arm strength. So I haven't done it yet because I don't know the effects of it. So it's like, but I'm also not a professional bodybuilder.
Well, that's what you want to talk to your professional about. Like I have some patients, I have a trumpet player. I won't do Botox around her mouth. I have an opera singer. I won't do her platysmal bands. Yes.
I was a trumpet player and I would have quit probably to get lip filler. Because your embouchure.
Could you still play the trumpet?
I could do a C scale, C scale. Do 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 do. I crushed it at trumpet, but I was a rude girl, so like that was my jam. But I mean the muscles around your mouth, they have to be strong.
Yes.
Super duper strong. So no lip flip, none of that. That totally. So if you're a professional, go to a person who's gonna ask you about your lifestyle.
Oh yes, absolutely. That is like the number one question we ask. Like, what do you do for work? Especially with these off-label things. So hands is one thing. You can also do Botox in the feet to help with the feet sweat too. Hands and feet, honestly, it hurts. Like the Botox does. It is uncomfortable, but we put numbing cream on and use ice and just do it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are those things you can do. There's actually some other things that you can do for sweating. There is a machine called Miradry, which actually uses magnetic therapy to kill the sweat glands in the armpits.
But if you kill the sweat glands in the armpits, your body is still regulating its temperature in other places of the body.
It is, because the armpits actually only have 2% of the sweat glands. So if you kill off 2%, it's not like somewhere else is going to start sweating.
So it's like whack-a-mole where like that one goes down, this one goes up.
Well, there is a surgery that is not used very commonly. Do you remember there was some commercials back maybe like 15, 20 years ago about cutting the nerve in your armpit to stop sweating?
Yep.
That really fucked a lot of people up.
Ooh.
I've seen a lot of what's called compensatory sweating. So if you cut that nerve, the surgery is called ETS. If you clip that nerve, then you can have sweating in other areas. I've seen people stomach sweat, chest sweat, and it's very, very hard to control that. So that is if someone has failed everything else, they're at their last wit's end, then you might want to proceed with caution to that.
Damn, that sucks because it was like the hit.
It was
and
huge.
Then and then you don't realize though until years later the side effects of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang, what a bummer.
There is another form of therapy that's been used since the 40s called iontophoresis, which is a little bowl of.
That sounds like a drag name. My name's iontophoresis. Iontophoresis, please come to the stage. Anyways, go ahead. Wait, what? A bowl?
A bowl with electricity in it. Really light electricity.
Oh, so shock therapy. Totally. Down. Yeah. Let's if you traumatize people with electricity. Cool.
You don't feel it, but you can use that in the hands and the feet. And some people think it works pretty well. You purchase a machine that you would use at home for it.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I had one patient a while ago that did it, but it's not very commonly used. But you might see that.
Like an iron lung. Like that's what I thought of. I was like, from the 40s, you stick your head in a bowl of electricity. Totally like an iron lung. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh. So there is that. So those are all things that can help control sweating. Some people sweat a lot, but some people sweat where their sweat is really smelly. It smells really bad. So that is something called bromohydrosis, where
your sweat is just stinky. It's not
stinky. You sweat normally, but it really smells.
Your BO is off the Richter.
Yes.
Yes. That sucks.
That does suck.
I'm like, what's that like? I mean, sometimes I'll be at Orange Theory and be like, damn, is that me? Oh my God. I stink.
I want to ask your opinion. So I was at an Orange Theory class, and the person I was running next to was sweating so much, like the sweat was going everywhere. Like, what's the courtesy for that?
So it's funny you asked that because I actually brought that up with one of my favorite trainers. He works out with me before he teaches the class, and I think I'm his favorite. He was running with a shirt on, and I was like, dude, like, what are you trying to prove? Like, take your shirt off. He's like, no, because when I run, I sweat all over everybody, all over the treadmill, on the screen. He's like, it's like a massacre. It's like a sweat massacre. So he's like, I keep it on to protect everyone around me.
That's like really nice courtesy.
Yeah. Or what I would do is I would just switch a machine. If it but what I do is I drip sweat. I wipe down the entire treadmill.
Yeah.
I do on the floor on the bottom.
I talked to a trainer about it too, and they called it like a bird bath. Like, oh, you got bird bathed?
You know what bird bath means in my neck of the woods?
What?
When you're a hoochie and you got to get ready real quick before you hook up with a dude, and you're like in a Carl's Jr. bathroom or something. All you got is a Victoria's Secret body spray and a body wipe. That's called a bird bath. You wipe down, you spritz it, maybe swish a little Banaka in your mouth, and then you go hook up with the dude. If you're lucky, you have a pair of clean chonies in the trunk. I've never done a bird bath. I've just heard from the girls on the street. That's what a bird bath is. Love spell by Victoria's Secret. But anyways, your bird bath, because you're a square, is when you work out. My bird bath is also known as a Guido shower for the guys. So a Guido shower is when you just spritz a whole bunch of cologne. You don't actually wash your body. Maybe a wipey on the balls, but that's...
Please wipe the balls. Speaking of balls, you can, if your balls get sweaty too, You can put a little Botox.
Have
there.
you ever injected balls for the
No,
sweat?
I actually have not.
If any dude wants some, come through.
No, I mean,
So I'm not the one doing it.
Yeah.
You freaks. I've got some
I
fans
will
out there
tell
that
you.
want me to inject their nutsack, but it's not going to be me.
In my day, okay, so in my like full dermatology days, I would see a lot of stuff, and no shame, whatever, nudity is nudity, but sometimes I'd walk in and I'm doing a full body skin exam on a patient where you have to look from head to toe looking for skin cancers or anything weird going on. And they would just literally like, okay, I'm like, let me do your skin exam. And they just stand there and like drop the gown on the floor.
They're like this.
And I'm like,
Spread eagle.
you
Like,
don't,
what's
I don't
that?
have to see that yet. Okay. Like I
You're
will
like,
get there.
Mr. Jones, this is your 5th visit in the last 4 weeks for a body check.
Yeah.
I think you're good.
Please put your gown back on.
He's like, but this mole looks weird on my butt cheek. Can you check it out?
I had a few of those before, and I would just like pass it to the next. We'd like rotate PAs, you know. Just
Yeah,
put
because
someone else in there.
they're all naked and they were like, wait a minute, you're not Erin.
No,
You're a dude PA.
The best one is when they thought I was a male Erin, and I'd go in the room to like do some like genital exam or something. I'm like, oh, were you expecting a male? Hold on, I'll be right back with someone else.
Oh, wait, it's because they wanted
thought,
a male?
No, well, yeah, they thought Erin. They thought the name Erin was a male name.
Yeah, so they specifically wanted a male PA.
Yes. And then I'd walk in. I'm like, oops, sorry.
Yeah.
You get me today.
Crazy. Okay.
But okay, anyways, balls,
Yeah.
scrotums. Yes, no,
That's
I
a
have
professional term, scrotum. I can say nutsack. You can say scrotum. You're the med profesh.
I am.
Yeah. So
but
you've
no, I
never had
haven't.
to. How much do you think? A vial in each ball? Or?
Well, but the one thing to know about that, the ball would get smoother too, less wrinkles.
Can I see some before and afters of scrotum wrinkles relaxed?
Sean, are you
What-
down for that?
Our video guy is
It's
like, what am I why am I doing this? Like, he's questioning every move right now. He's like, they're going to make me get Botox in my ball sack. But that was probably a very bizarre look.
If you like a tighter ball and tighter sweaty
We
ball.
need to get porn stars on this podcast.
Okay.
I know you guys probably think we're like sex freaks or something like that, but they might like. I'm gonna look this up. There
Okay.
might be a guy out there who has already had it done, but I wouldn't even have thought of the side effects. That would just probably seem kind of strange. So what about Botox in the vagina lips? Because I'm obsessed with vagina lips, labia majoras.
I mean, here it's if the sweating is excessive, okay? If
We all sweat when we're working out.
we
That's
all
normal.
sweat. We all sweat. But if it's excessive, then seek treatment, okay?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to be totally sweatless because you have to sweat. You have to regulate your body's temperature.
Yeah, totally.
But if it's inhibiting your lifestyle, then come in. Let's
So
talk.
what about crotch? Because we have
we have a
client who's a fitness trainer.
We do in her groin area. So think about like where your underwear hits, like in the groin area. She's had Botox there because she wears a lot of light colored biker shorts.
Never. When I see those pink and light blue
I know,
yoga
I get-
pants, I'm like, you are asking for cellulite to be shown and crotch sweat.
Well, you know.
But then again, if that's your day-to-day outfit, for
Yes,
sure. That's
yes.
why I wear black all the time.
So she's had Botox there with a lot of great success. And that's when we talked earlier in the podcast about Jackie being the queen of that. Jackie does a lot of she just does a lot of
Fun
Botox.
stuff with Botox,
Yeah. So, I mean, sweating is no fun, but there are treatments for it. And I think that's the most important thing, knowing that if you have a concern or something makes you uncomfortable, go ask somebody about it. Go get professional help.
Yeah.
And there are things that are out there. And a lot of times people will ask me about concerns that they have, and I might not have the solution for it, but I can at least guide them, that, okay, this is actually a therapy issue. Like, why don't you go see this? Or this is a surgery issue. I have a plastic surgeon I can refer you to.
Yeah.
So just find someone you trust to help you through the whole process.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's no harm in asking questions. There's no such thing as like stupid. When people are like, I'm embarrassed to ask this question. It's like, well, you didn't go to school for it, so don't be embarrassed.
No.
You know what's dumb? What a dumb question is like, how do I confirm my appointment? I just got a text telling me how to confirm it. That's what I'm like. That's a dumb question. It's not a dumb question to ask Erin, like, hey, is there anything I could do about the sweatiness in my crotch? Or my boyfriend really wants smoother balls. How can he get that? Gross.
Yes, come ask me. Oh,
Gross.
Wait, somehow we got off the topic of sweat, smelly sweat.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I don't know
yeah.
where that.
So like
rabbit hole went
bio.
down. Yes, sometimes we can prescribe a antibiotic lotion to kill the bacteria in that area. So using something like an antiperspirant where you sweat less, if you sweat less, there's less sweat to be smelly. That can help. But also if someone has like a true issue, it could be a buildup of bacteria. We can decrease the bacterial population in those areas.
So you could rub that said lotion on your pits, your feet, your leg, your knee pits.
Your knee pits, yes.
Yeah.
Do your knee pits get sweaty?
When I'm like, like sitting in a weird, but no, it does not debilitate me. Yeah. I don't have any, thank God. I mean, that's why I haven't done Botox anywhere, because it hasn't debilitated me. I mean, I don't think not being able to wear my 2 bodysuits is debilitating. I just wear a weird little, like tapey, sticky bra that kind of collects it and brings them up, lifts them and squeezes them together. But other than that, no, like I'm pretty blessed.
Yeah.
Hashtag blessed.
I know we'll get this question too. This Botox treatment is usually not covered by insurance.
Oh man,
Sorry.
Are you serious? It's not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you can try and ask, but I mean, in my experience, I've never.
And if you've gone to a doctor and they do accept your insurance, then go back to them.
Yes.
Yes.
Please
But don't
do.
don't be presumptuous and assume that it is covered by insurance.
Yeah. But other of the prescriptions, the prescription pills, the wipes, the prescription antiperspirant, those are things that can go through your insurance.
Yeah.
It's more so the Botox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you learn a lot from this episode?
Yeah. I learned about injecting in weird places again. I mean, yeah, it's definitely been very informative for me. I think what's most important is shedding awareness on what is out there. Like, we are not pushing injectables. Nobody owns us. We do not have any sort of relationship with an injectable company. Like, there's different solutions.
Yes.
To these issues that are really bothering you. You don't have to suffer.
No.
Through this stuff.
And I think you should go to someone that will tell you all the options.
Yes, it's
And
not
even
just pushing one thing.
Exactly. Like I could, the solution for sweating is Botox because that's what we have here. We have Botox and you should do Botox. No, I'm going to tell you if you're a 15-year-old kid and you have a single mom who can't afford that, let's talk about the other things.
Yeah, exactly.
There's other things that we can do that our office is not going to profit on, but it's going to be whatever is best for the patient. So make sure people are not pushing shit on you.
Yeah, and that's important because I think teenagers like hormonally sweat a little bit more and they don't have to, So, if you're a parent or an auntie or something like that, like go see a professional and talk to them. Like if your kid's embarrassed, like being a teenager sucks as it is. So
It's like, and if you can do these little things in their life just to make their life a little
feel
bit
a little more
easier,
confident, build that confidence. That's where it's at.
Absolutely. So we're here to help out any way possible.
Yeah. So if you guys like this topic, if you have anything that to play off of this topic, or if you want us to touch on anything else that might be a concern, we are more than willing to hear you guys out. So always comment if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about. Make sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts, also on YouTube, subscribe, and rate us as always, and tell all your friends.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.